Well, good evening. It's been a heck of a week. We've had a week-long virtual Special Places celebration, and we're grateful to everybody who participated this week. This has been a whole new gig for the West Virginia Land Trust, and I want to give a special shout out to our staff members who rallied and figured out other ways around what used to be a live, fun, single night, 3-hour event. And here we've stretched it out and brought more information to you than maybe we would have before. So Adam Webster's videos, Jessica Spatafor's organizing, Jesse Cecil's technical support, Ashton Burdine's special virtual cooking show, every staff member who produced a feature, our board members who came forward and talked about why they serve, which is a critical function for any nonprofit organization in the state, and a chance for so many people to meet and hear from lots of other folks who work in allied fields whose work can connect to the land protection that's done by the West Virginia Land Trust. We're grateful for everyone who has participated, thankful for those of you who have tuned in, and especially grateful to those of you who have made a donation. This is a fundraiser, it's also a fundraiser, and many of the donations that come to us are going to be used so that we can leverage additional funding, so that we can provide matches for grants, so that we can send staff out to explore new places to be protected, so that we can hire surveyors and appraisers and attorneys in order to do our work. This all depends on contributions from individuals. So at wvlandtrust.org/donate, you can continue to make it happen. But we've had a really fun week. This has been a really great celebration. I hope you'll take a look at our website or go to our YouTube channel to catch up on the kinds of things you might have missed, the influencers and the newsmakers that we've interviewed and brought to you so that you can understand better their work and understand and get enthused about the growing conservation movement that's happening in West Virginia. Thanks for joining us. Jessica?
And we have an exciting announcement. As you've probably heard this week, our title sponsor, Baling Glasser, along with our board of directors, offered up a match. Every dollar is being matched this week up to $20,000. Well, the good news is we're only $5,000 away. $5,000 left to meet our match, and you can still give. You can still give, and we're extending the deadline through next Friday, which would be October 2nd. So you've got a whole nother week to give. How exciting is that?
But why wait? Why wait?
Right. You can, make an impact on your home state or your favorite state if you're not in West Virginia. West Virginia is awesome. And you can donate on our website at wvlandtrust.org/donate. And every dollar matched. You give 20 and they're going to give 20. Double your impact. So we're extending that for a whole nother week. We're only $5,000 away from our goal. We're super excited. This week has been awesome, and we are so appreciative to everyone who has given. All of our sponsors, our major funders, everyone who's given this week, those who have given to the Jenkinsburg project that was just announced with Charlie Walbridge. And we're so excited. I'm excited. And do we want to mention our next virtual event will be October 23rd. We're going to talk about Arbuckle's Fort down in Alderson. Ashton, do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Well, sure. I just want to say this is a special interest to us because it's different. This is a historical site, an archaeological site, and it's what the archaeologists call a frontier fort. It's one of the best preserved, if not the best preserved, fort site in the state, and it'll serve as a local park and also an educational site where we hope that the schools and the community will take advantage of for years and years and years to come.
Our partners with the Archaeological Conservancy and the Greenbrier Historical Society have been really key in helping to move this forward. We didn't really start out to be a cultural conservation organization, but when we realized that there's a need and people at the local level came to us, in the case of Camp Bartow in Pocahontas County and now with Arbuckle's Fort in Greenbrier County, it's clear that there is a need for an organization that works on land protection to set aside the physical places where history happened. And in the absence of anybody else to do that, we've occupied that niche. And I'm really grateful to Ashton for pushing this forward and for the way that partners at the local level and the national level with the Archaeological Conservancy have stepped forward to help us move this along and helped expand our portfolio of the kinds of lands that you can protect. So I think it's been really exciting for us as a staff and an organization to see this move forward.
Yeah.
And Jesse, were you going to weigh in this evening on something here?
Yeah, I was just, I'm really have been impressed and proud with all the content that we've created this week. It's been fast and furious all week long, and we've been working really hard to bring you a lot of different looks at what we do and what some of our partners do. And in particular, if you have not had a chance to catch the interviews that we've been conducting nightly for the past several nights, take some time this weekend and watch those. They're really fascinating and a great taste of all the different facets of the growing conservation movement throughout the state. And we hope that you enjoyed this week and that you continue to enjoy this week. All of the content will continue to be available on our YouTube channel. We have a playlist for all of the Special Places videos, and we will continue to bring you quality content and excellent land protection into the future with your support. Thanks very much.
I know that for me, this was just really fun to be able to contact people or call them up and say, would you give us a hand? Would you be willing to come and talk about what you do and how it's related to conservation of West Virginia? And from Kathy Matea to Chelsea Ruby to Danny Twilley to Christian Abilso to Charlie Walbridge to all of these, Evan Hansen, who's a water scientist who's now in our House of Delegates. It's folks at WVU. It's just been a really exciting way to feel like there are a lot of folks and we all have a stake in this, in similar outcomes, and we all bring different talents and opportunities to the table. And this has been a really nice sort of community building week for me. And I see some real advantages to doing a virtual event like this because it allows people from much farther away who would not be able to participate in a one-night event in one city to join in and feel like they're participating and helping out. So I'm really grateful to everybody who was willing to be part of an interview and to help us explore a little bit more in depth the way that conservation is moving forward on multiple fronts simultaneously in West Virginia. It's pretty exciting, I think. Ashton, when you think about the collection of projects that we featured in our update, and that update video is available to people. It's about 12 minutes long, looks at the last year of our accomplishments and things that we brought to the table. When you look at it, what do you feel most proud of?
Well, I hate to pick the biggest, most mammoth project, but it's got a huge story behind it as well. I mean, the whole reforestation thing, the potential for this to be a hub for community recreation and revitalization efforts in the Eastern Kanawha County and the Upper Kanawha Valley. It's a huge story. I mean, it's just got huge potential, and it really highlights what land conservation can do for the public in a big way. I mean, everything comes back to big, huge, mammoth. This site, I mean, it has everything, but it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort.
Sure. Well, and
exciting.
And I also think that at the other end of the size scale, we have that tiny little 13-acre Jenkinsburg parcel, but I think it is a small parcel with a mighty impact in terms of providing so many trailhead and a trailhead for hikers, takeout for whitewater folks, a place for people to go and visit during the week or on the weekend with their families. It's going to be a real key point, as Charlie Walbridge described it, as a linchpin in that mosaic of lands out there that now is protected and that's going to see a resurgence in recreational use in north central West Virginia. I'm really proud of that one too, and so happy that we've got our partnership with Friends of the Cheat to make that a reality over the next several years. It's going to be very exciting for us as an organization. Jessica, do you have a highlight from the past year that when you think of our updates or our announcements, what do you think that will stand out for you?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I mean, of the sites I've been to Mammoth. And when Ashton talks about the potential there, it's 4,800 acres. It's huge. And for me, we drove up on the top of the plateau and looking out, I mean, it's magical. It's a magical feeling to look out and say, we own all of that. Like everything you can see, the land trust owns. Like, I mean, it gives me cold chills. It was like the coolest feeling ever. But the other thing I'll add, a lot of the other sites I haven't been to yet. And normally, we close on a project and then we go and we do a staff outing. And we haven't been able to do that due to the coronavirus. And I can't wait until this is over so we can have our staff field trips because I miss you guys. I miss
We have a lot of properties
our
to catch
staff
up on.
field trips. And I want to go see all of these sites because I see the pictures and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty and it's so cool. And I want to go get in the water. And, I can't wait to get back to normal and go on the field trips.
I am so with you. I'm so ready. Jesse, how about you in terms of what you take with you? I know that I really enjoyed riding along with you on your tour of Yellow Creek Natural Area, and I was really glad I didn't have to be in the saddle. I could just enjoy it from afar. So thanks for that. What was big for you?
That was probably a more enjoyable 2 minutes than a lot of my minutes spent toughing it out on that really gnarly, awesome trail. So I really like the diversity and range of projects that we work on. We have large epic scales like Mammoth and Yellow Creek Natural Area. But for me, I think that I'm most excited about those close to home. I live a few miles from Tom's Run Preserve, and being able to go out and take my kids out and recreate right there really quickly, that means a lot to me. And so with the addition of the Schultz property, which is nearby, the Jenkinsburg project, bringing recreation to where people live, I think that's critical in getting people to appreciate and support continued protection for land. And so because I live here in Morgantown, those are the projects that are maybe more personally significant to me. I'm really blown away by the scale of Mammoth and the potential, but I haven't seen it yet, and maybe that all will outweigh the value of having something right outside my back door. But for me, it's the recreation close to home where I can take my kids out there and teach them to appreciate the natural world.
Yeah.
And be home in time for dinner.
Yeah. Well, and when Danny Twilley from WVU spoke about the Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative at the university and what they see as the recreational potential in West Virginia and the proximity that everybody has to so many miles of trails and rivers and climbing sites, it just positions us, I think, really well as a state and as residents here to take advantage of things that haven't yet been protected or haven't yet been developed. But it really does point to that new direction that I think the state is going in, where we've got all kinds of kids who are involved in outdoor activities that they never did, that people weren't participating in even 10 years ago. I mean, Ashton, you can probably talk a little bit about the mountain biking activities that have started with kids in middle school.
The NICA program.
Yeah, I can speak to that briefly. I have two daughters, and one has been involved in the NICA, National Interscholastic Cycling Association program that has established these statewide bike teams. And it's been a huge following, huge enthusiasm around that effort in local regions around the state. Different towns have sponsored these bike clubs for youth between ages like 9 and 18 or whatever, something like that, 10 and 18. And kids are getting involved. They're getting on mountain bikes 3 nights a week, and then they're having races around the state, getting excited, getting exercise, and getting outdoors. And it's just building the momentum for mountain biking even more. And almost all of those kids, their parents are involved too. I mean, we all went out and bought new mountain bikes, and we're all taking Saturday trips with our kids to someplace to ride a bike.
Makes me want to borrow a few kids from somebody in order to get out to some of these places. You know,
You
it
can
seems
do
like
it.
I have mine.
there are kids that help us step out a lot. And I think if your kids are grown and gone, then you got to borrow one or borrow a dog or something in order to keep circulating.
You don't, though.
Let me know when.
You just need a bike.
Okay, fine. Or I'll do it with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into something heavy. What are you drinking this evening? It is a happy hour after all.
Candy Bee Profane, Raging Bitch,
Hazy IPA. Or hazy thing.
Sierra Nevada, right, Ashton?
That's right.
Okay. Is that the one that's family owned, operated, and argued over?
No, that's a different one.
I don't know which one that is. Okay. Are you sure? I thought Sierra Nevada was it. Maybe not.
It is. You're right. Right at the top in little fine print. Family owned, operated, and argued over.
I
You
love
know
it.
your IPAs when
Your
you can
beer.
put the caption on the can.
Yeah, you know your beer cans.
Oh, yeah, I know my beer cans. I know the beers that are in them too. Jesse, what about you?
Flying Dog, Raging Bitch IPA.
All
Belgian
right.
IPA.
And is that out of Delaware?
Oh, geez, I don't know. You would know better than me, I guess. It's out of Walmart.
That is a good one.
It doesn't say. Belgium. It's from Belgium. I don't know.
It's not from Belgium.
It's a Belgian style.
I don't know. I'm
Jesse,
not
what do you
concerned
got
about
for me?
lineage.
Well, it's been a long week.
Yeah.
And I've got a little whiskey cocktail here.
I ran out of liquor movie.
I have Bird Dog. It's Bird Dog whiskey with some club soda and lime. And I'm using one of our clean water mixed grape beer cups. These are stainless steel pint glasses available for purchase on our website at wvlandtrust.org/shop. They're $12. I'll send you one.
All right. I think that's great. And do you want to talk about the next promotion that we have going with Stone Tower Brews?
Yeah. So, clean water makes great coffee. We've done clean water makes great beer. And now we're moving on to the next best thing, what you need in the morning, right? You have your beer at night, coffee in the morning. And we're partnering with Stone Tower Joe, who roasts their own coffee, and it's sold in multiple locations. So Stone Tower Joe is like a coffee empire where they roast, and then they serve their coffee at Joe and Throw in Fairmont, as well as Stone Tower Brews in Buchanan, another coffee shop. And then it's also sold in a couple different locations around the state. And we're doing a coffee collaboration where our coffee is going to be bagged and sold in, these 5 locations. And the coffee is going to be called Just Add Water, because without water, you don't have coffee. And I'm super excited. And when I talked to Peter, like the master roaster, he says our coffee is going to have hints of, it's going to be like an espresso dark roast with hints of sweet potato and marshmallow. So that sounds amazing. I'm super excited. All of their coffees, you read the description and you're like, that's a funny mixture. They are so good. I swear they are so good. They are so good. We're buying like all the flavors now. They're really good. I'm really excited about this. And
When will that
I'm sorry.
roast be available?
Soon. They're working on it this week. I think it's being roasted. I'm not sure the process. If we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, I would have gone with them to help them roast, but I wasn't invited.
We're in a pandemic?
Yeah, so I couldn't go. But yeah, so it should be available, I would say, within the next month, I believe so. And it should be sold in, multiple locations. It's on our website at wvlandtrust.org/coffee. And we're ordering stickers. We're going to have stickers. We're going to have cool shirts. Check out these shirts. How cool are these shirts we're ordering? So we'll have these available, within the next week or two. And we're talking about reusable coffee sleeves, so you can keep it in your bag. And if you're at the Starbucks and you need a coffee sleeve, you have a reusable one. It's like a koozie for your coffee. So cool swag. Promoting clean water. Clean water makes great coffee. I'm excited about it.
Okay, we'll brew up a big carafe of that at our next staff meeting and celebrate. We can toast with coffee too. Well, I am drinking tonight a can of Your Best Hoption, which is from Chestnut Brew Works. I'm sorry if that shows up backward. I can't see very well right now. From Chestnut Brew Works in Morgantown, one of my favorite local breweries. There are a lot of them. I'm really glad that Clean Water makes great beer, and we have a lot of great beer now in the state that we can brag on. And Chestnut Brew Works is sort of an inspired place. In addition to Short Story, which is my other favorite one in Reevesville. Well, then there's Screech Owl in Preston County. Yeah, there's Bridge Brew Works too. There's a lot of them out there. There's so much beer, so little time. Anyway, the brewery's on board with understanding and help. And I think it's been a really great way to help people understand that the way we conserve the outdoors is going to conserve a good way of life and good things that come to us in that life, from good beer to good coffee. So yeah, thanks for all that promotion. And we're grateful to those purveyors and makers of these great things that help us really enjoy living here.
Well, folks, it's been a fantastic week. I think we should give a salute to everybody that's supported us and been involved. And I personally am going to have to sign off and go be with my family.
All right. Here's to you. Thanks, everybody, for all you do.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Good night. Have a good weekend.
Thank you all.